Today we're going to look at how to hold a workshop. Workshops are a big part of my business and they've become larger over the years. I can't remember the first time I did one, probably 5, 6, 7 years ago, and I think I started with a Christmas wreath workshop. Some people I've watched on various forums, some people have said, is it worth having workshops, is it worth doing workshops? Because essentially you're telling everyone your secrets and your, the way to make things, and they'll just go off and make them themselves, and then you've lost business. And that's an interesting argument. There is an aspect of that. I know full well that certain people have come to my workshops, they've taken what I've taught them and they've gone off and set up on them by themselves. And there's part of me that goes, actually, kudos to me. I've taught them, that's great. And actually, kudos to them for having the oomph to get up and go and start their own business. Brilliant. For me, financially, it's worth doing workshops because it's shorter spaces of time that I'm with people. It's less pressure than a wedding. And actually, I have found over the years that I love teaching. I really enjoy teaching. I really love encouraging people. I love developing people. I love watching people learn and knowing that I've taught them. There's a huge boost to my my self-belief that I can do this. So I would definitely say, if you're starting out, it's worth looking at where you can start holding workshops. And people who have come to me, they've started doing the classic Christmas wreath workshop, and that's a really popular thing during the festive season. People, mothers and daughters come together, friends get together, they'll get some Prosecco in, we make wreaths together, and it's a really lovely evening. And I guess my second point would be start small. Like I said, are there a group of friends that you can get together and you can learn on them, essentially. You can, and that's another way that other people have done it, I know, who've talked to me about it. They've got together a group of mates. They haven't charged a huge amount, they've probably covered their costs, but it's given them a platform to be able to experiment and see whether they feel comfortable teaching or not. And some of the, for some people that's worked a treat. I can still sort of remember the first couple of workshops that I did being utterly terrified, because you're standing up there and you're the expert. And I probably talked utter rubbish to them, utter rubbish. But it worked, and they came back. And I have people who come back year on year to wreath workshops, they'll come back to hand tie workshops, because they like who I am, they like what I do, they like the working, the workspace environment that I have, and they enjoy it, and they get a lot out of it. And I think as workshops go, I know for myself, my confidence, as I've done more workshops, my confidence has grown. And so therefore I've been able to do more expensive workshops. I've been able to do more experimental workshops. I can do archway workshops now. I'm looking at doing one in France next year, to do a retreat. How amazing would that be? But that's taken me 5, 6 years to get to the point where I feel like I could do that. So if you're thinking about it, go for it. Find something that you're really interested in. It might be that you want to teach a group of people how to do a hand tie. So go for it. Have a go. But when you're doing that workshop, try and get pictures of the workshop as it's happening. I've done a heck of a lot of flower crown workshops this year and last year. They're a real trend. So you'll get hen parties, they come together. And again, it's the whole Prosecco, comes out, and they'll play. They get 2 hours. I bring all the materials. And they have a whale of a time. They'll create some beautiful crowns, some absolute car crashes, but that's absolutely fine. It's all part of the fun. But that's been a thing. And gradually with those, I start to increase the prices as I feel more inquiries come in. I don't want to do so many of them. I get a bit bored of them, so I jack the price up, and it's great. That's okay. But equally as well, I have a team of people around me that I'm teaching them to do those workshops, and they go out and do them for me. So definitely it's a really positive thing, I think, for any business to be able to have that aspect to it, that you can go and teach, you can go and share. The other important thing that I remember, the first couple of workshops I did, I didn't cover my costs, so it was a waste of time. It's really important to look at how much you're spending and what you're charging, and make sure that you're making a profit from it. Because also, as much as there is that fear around sharing all your secrets, you are divulging your experience, your wisdom. So it's important to put a cost on that. It's important to put, your price on and say, this is who I am, this is what I charge. And not everyone will book, because there'll always be someone who does it cheaper, always. But that's okay, that's all right. So it's worth making sure that you've done your calculations, that you're covering your costs, you're making some profit, and you're also taking a wage from it. Otherwise it's really not worth doing it. And it will just be a bit demoralising, I think, at the end of the day, when you spend all that time preparing for something, that you just haven't made a profit from it. So yeah, go and look into it. Find, whether you can rent a village hall, or you can, even just starting in someone's living room. You might be able to rent a space in a farm shop, anything like that. But there's definitely always places to start. So it's worth doing. And I think as well, for yourself, you'll develop personally. I think you develop more through teaching as well. So it's got benefits all around. So if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe, click like, and hopefully we'll see you soon.